Oh, you can correct.
Oh God! So I'm gonna have PTSD. I think if I listen to this. Let's see though.
I mean that's still.
I have to play this. Oh God!
And I could have picked a different word.
Oh my goodness!
I've opened up again.
Okay.
Oh, you can correct.
Oh God! So I'm gonna have PTSD. I think if I listen to this. Let's see though.
I mean that's still.
I have to play this. Oh God!
And I could have picked a different word.
Oh my goodness!
I've opened up again.
Okay. Let's see.
The states that had.
I can't even.
No.
I'm so uncomfortable in this.
Can I yell at you and just say, go to the beginning?
I'm going to go to the beginning. You're right.
Trump has been good for
Oh,
comedy.
you're right.
Is this whole interview going to be about Trump or?
If you really don't want to talk about it, I just figured.
I
thought you had done. I thought you had dabbled occasionally in stand-up. I brought that up.
There it was.
And dabbled occasionally, really?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a thing you were really doing or not, and I wasn't sure.
Oh no! I've been doing stand-up for 20 years.
Okay, that's good.
I had no idea
that much in the last 6 months or so.
And then he said no.
Well, since all my gigs have been canceled due to COVID, no, I haven't.
That was a little bit of I was like not a trick question, but I was like, I know most comics were getting up one way or the other during the pandemic. They were not going to let 6+ months go by of just no performing. We were performing in backyards, basements,
drive-ins,
parking lots of diners, on the back of trucks. Like, people that wanted to perform were making it happen. That's why I was like, is he really doing comedy?
And then the podcast revolution, the COVID podcast revolution. Everyone became a podcaster too.
The podcast boom. Yes. This was, God, what was the date on this? I mean, I'm in my old apartment, so it had to have been before February of 21. I don't know. Anyway, that he got so mad at me for this. And this is another great moment. This is actually why we love John, is moments like this.
I got a tweet from.
This is why we're like, we love covering John.
My green screen collapsed.
What a dump.
But I like this. It's good to see how the sausage is made sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. And I've told John directly, it's the way he responds to some of the trolls sometimes, which is what makes him more interesting. And it almost fuels more trolling, almost like he's trolling us to a point.
Yeah. Especially now, the way he'll interact or talk about Carl. I was like, okay, it feels more playful.
You mean Carla?
Carla, of course. It feels more like a back and forth. So I'm really trying to give as much context as I can for people who have never heard of the Dabbleverse or don't know about any of this. Not familiar with Stuttering.John. So do you come into the picture? How much before DabbleCon do you come on the scene?
Well, as I said, I don't know if I'm going to go truth here or storyline, but.
Answer however makes more sense. I'm not trying to out you or anything or make you look weird.
I think that story's coming, and I think that at that point I'm in the Dabbleverse. But I'm playing a role where I'm reading what they're doing on Reddit, what they're doing in the Discord, and I'm doing stuff that I know is going to get a reaction out of. I'm trying to get some attention.
Whose Discord is this?
WATP's Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the hotbed. Mostly Dabblers, before Dabblers Anonymous, I think the WATP Discord was a big, probably the landing place for a lot of this. But once Dabblers Anonymous kind of really took off and started growing, then it kind of moved over there.
But Carl's Discord was like the home planet, and then everyone sort of migrated.
Yes, to Dabblers. Again, because Dabblers Anonymous, you can do more things. Again, as I said, there's a lot of content creators, video creators. They needed a place to put all this stuff, and And how is it? You put that in Discord, it disappears, down the
True.
line. This, Dabblers Anonymous, it lives forever and ever and ever.
And ever.
But I do think somebody should be making a documentary. There's got to be some filmmaker out there that there's a story here. And this is I've tried explaining this to people that have no idea what the Dabbleverse is. And just the puzzled looks I get. I don't tell them I'm a potato in the middle of it. That would just make it even harder.
Right.
To swallow. What? There's vegetables. There's wrestlers. There's green puppets.
There's a corn. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's puppets. There's vegetables. There's bears. Oh my. So you're a potato. What prompted this decision?
It happened very organically. I started
almost like it grew up out of the ground.
It did. I have eyes everywhere that spread. I was goofing on, I was very deep in the WATP universe, in the lore. And there was a character on a podcast. There was a podcast that Carl reviewed called Mom Swipes Left. I'm sure they'll appreciate the plug on the great Chrissy Mayr podcast, Mom Swipes Left. And they had a gentleman who I believe had some type of head injury, who did an after show, a review show of their show. And he did it as a potato, like I'm doing now. Exactly the same technology.
Potato.
The same potato. He's the same potato. And he would do an after show, basically simping to this Mom Swipes Left podcast. And he was getting 3, 4 views, 5 views. Carl talked about him, and he got 100 views on one episode. And he started kind of reacting, shooting back at Carl, like defending his. He was white knighting for this Mom Swipes Left.
Grateful for the views.
He should have been, but he wasn't. He was upset that his heroes, Jen and Carol, were being attacked and maligned by a club-footed, snaggle-toothed geek in Rochester, and he went to defend their honor. So I went into action to defend Carl's honor, and I stole his gimmick, and I've never looked back. I just got a YouTube channel at that point. I didn't know what to do with it, and the potato filter seemed like a great opportunity to play with.
So is this guy still using the potato filter?
He is, and he's still getting 4 views a week.
And here you are, you've blown past that many, many times over. You're here sitting pretty at over 4,000 subscribers, yes. And you're getting, my God, 10,000 views. 46. Oh, that's not yours, but you're getting views. You're doing great.
My biggest video was having John on. I had John on a late night stream. He was rather intoxicated.
Oh, was this recently?
It was a few weeks ago. Ago. It was right as he was leaving. He said he was leaving. He was done leaving the Dabbleverse. He's not going to do any more shows about Shuli or Carl. And he was back the next day. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
Now my husband completely fills me up. I feel his tool hitting deep inside me. And
So did the OG potato user find out that you took his gimmick?
Yeah, he's reacted to me a couple times, but I've palmed a tear wherever you are. Thank you.
Now, did you start podcasting to be in the Dabbleverse, or did your content sort of transition to mostly a Dabbleverse focus?
Well, funny question. So initially, I'll go back to the beginning. Remember when I said I was trolling the trolls?
Right.
John was famous for having sock accounts. So my first mission, just with my Twitter, nothing else, was convincing people that I was a John sock account. So I learned to tweet things that he would do. And, one day I did, and people were starting to notice. Again, I would do something and then check Reddit or check the Discord. Is somebody noticing, somebody catching on? Just waiting to see if I could start a fire somewhere. But the first thing I did that really caught everyone's attention was John's been caught a couple times with his sock accounts, saying, come on my show. He liked to tweet people, come on my show. So I did that once. I don't remember who I tweeted come on my show to. And the Discord erupted. Dabblers Anonymous erupted. They're like, aha, we caught him. It's John. So in response to that, I made a podcast. So I'm like, no, I was looking for guests for my show, the Cardiff Electric Podcast.
Oh, wow.
So I just started an audio podcast at that point.
Wow. That's like
living the gimmick.
really turning an oopsie moment into a lifelong decision.
Yes, yes. But everything I do was intentional.
It's a happy accident,
Yes.
as Bob Ross would say.
But an intentional one.
Okay, very cool.